Welcome to The Other Side of the Page, a bookish podcast where we yap about the books we love
and the songs that give us main character energy.
We're here to sift through the chaos that is our TBR.
And to let you know why a book might just be your next favorite read.
I'm Britt, dramatic plot twist lover and champion for MMCs needing to be more pathetic and down bad.
And I'm Hannah, reader of at least 5 books at once and a detailed fantasy map enthusiast.
Every Wednesday, press play on a brand new bookish episode.
Stay up to date with the books we will be covering by following us on social media at othersideofthepagepod over on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads.
Yes, and don't forget to follow, rate, and review the podcast on your preferred platform with a shining 5 stars because it helps us so much with visibility.
This week, we are giving you our thoughts on the movie adaptation of People We Meet on Vacation.
Yes, this is one of my favorite Emily Henry reads, and I am so excited to chat about it today. So grab an iced coffee
or iced chai,
and let's turn the page together.
Dear reader, here is the brief IMDb's movie synopsis. Poppy wants to explore the world, and Alex prefers to stay home with a good book. But somehow they are the very best of friends. They live far apart, but for a decade they have spent 1 week of summer vacation together. Mm-hmm. And honestly, we think you should watch this movie. If you just want a rom-com full of a little adventure, full of friendship and love and just fun, heartfelt moments.
Yes. Overall. And you might want to avoid this adaptation if, even with all of the warnings, you are going to be genuinely harmed and upset that it is not a completely faithful adaptation to the book. I have some thoughts. I loved it for what it was, and I can't wait to talk about it. But if you are like, if People We Meet on Vacation is your number one, and it's going to physically harm you to not see some of their very niche moments, maybe just take a step back for a little bit. Otherwise, I see no reason for you to not watch this movie, period.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. All right.
So let's talk about our songs.
Songs. I don't know. I feel like both of these could apply to the book and the movie. A little bit of both. I feel like mine does apply a tinge more to the movie itself.
Yeah.
What about yours?
I think the movie. I was trying to think if I picked a song for the book, like way back when I read it, but I read it in like 2022. My song is Supercut by Lorde.
Iconic. Guys, I actually found out tonight because I said, yes, Supercut is a great song because it's like Nick and Jess. And she goes, I've only watched like 2 episodes of New Girls. And she just stabbed me. New Girl. She stabbed me in my heart. Anyway, it's fine. One day you're going to get an urge to just put it on and then you'll get sucked in because that's what happened to me. I didn't watch it from the beginning. We were on vacation. Someone had it on TV and I said, okay, I'll watch it. And it went from there. So anyway, my song choice. This is sacrilegious. I cannot believe that I have not physically picked a song from the One Direction catalog before. We've done them in like group context. We've done it as like a ranking of a list. But I picked Ready to Run by One Direction.
Love it.
Oh, all right. Now we're moving on to our Pages Turned and Bridges Burned chunk of the episode. Just know we will be discussing. We sure will. We will be discussing the movie People We Meet on Vacation. So if you have not read the book or watched the movie, please proceed with caution because we're going to be talking about the story as a whole and some things that were left out of the book, some things that were added to the movie. So just know.
We kind of already mentioned it, but let's talk a little bit about the book.
Yes.
This book is near the top for you, right? Out of your Emily Henry rankings.
Yep.
For me, it's at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you'll hear my thoughts on the movie in a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I didn't like the book. Like, it's just out of all of them.
Yeah. Okay. What's so funny, though, is that mine and Hannah's rankings, aside from Happy Place and People We Met on Vacation, are nearly identical. I'm sure on any given day we could make them identical, like, and be fine with it. And I don't know. I didn't
believe people though. Like when people said, you like one or the other, I'm like, yeah, right. Like
I know
it can't be those two that polarizing, but me and you are testament to that.
Yeah, it just did that. But I love a good friends to lovers, and I know you were more of a second chance girly before I was, so I feel like there was, I don't know, some parallels in life to like certain aspects of the books that we related to. But yeah, I love this story and I thought the movie was so much fun. But this book does take place over about 12 years. So we have them in the current timeline working through their fallout. And then we get to see their vacations they take every summer together as friends. Now, this is going to be my one caveat. The one commentary that I have that I think Hannah is probably going to disagree with is my one wish is that I do believe that this would have worked better as a limited series with each episode focusing on the current timeline and one of their past vacations. And like between 5 to 6 episodes, I think would have been to show a little bit more depth because we lost a lot of Alex's like backstory. And so like the reasoning behind some of it didn't land. However, as a standalone rom-com adaptation, like as a standalone rom-com on its own, like if I would have just put on Netflix, turned this on, I would have been happy as a clam watching this.
And I think since it is one of my least favorite books, I'm like, perfect movie. I can like absorb it just in one sitting.
Yeah.
And I was telling Britt this other day too. Sometimes I like just the short stuff, like if it's cut out, because Wicked, if you've listened to us over the past few years, you know that Wicked is my Roman Empire. I love Wicked. And I think the movies are fantastic, great, wonderful. However, I want to be able to just sit down for 2.5 hours and get the most out of it that I can. And I don't want to sit there for 5-6 hours to watch it in one like binge. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So I think like maybe I would have appreciated the book and the story more if it was a limited series.
Yeah.
But I love the movie
for what it was. And I do also have to add that I think this coming off of the heels of the success that is Heated Rivalry has changed how people are viewing adaptations right now because of the intense feral behavior and brain like chemistry altering story that we got from that, which I am making Hannah watch it, you guys. I promise. I may or may not have watched it 3 times. I may or may not have. Don't come for me. It's fine. But I think that there was that like hype and excitement that did not help the expectation of this. Because I think EmHen was very clear that this deviated from the source material. She was very clear about it. So I went in with the expectations that it was going to be different.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad for people that had their expectations so high and had their favorite lines that didn't get in the movie. And I just remember when I was in middle school and going to the movies to see one of my favorite books being adapted into a movie. And I left that movie theater so pissed off. And my mom was like, you need to calm down. And I was like, no, they didn't do this. They didn't do this. They didn't do this. They didn't do this. And she's like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And then like, it probably took me about 5 years, probably about 10 years to actually appreciate that movie. And like, now I appreciate it. Yeah. But I still remember like leaving the theater and being so upset. And I think after that, it really kind of taught me to lower my, not necessarily, well, really lower my expectations, but also kind of
like
just
adapt
separate
them.
Yeah. And separate, like the book is like we used to say all the time, right? Let a book be a book and like let the movie be a movie. And so I think once you're able to kind of separate that and you can enjoy it so much more.
Yes.
I still remember coming out of that movie being so annoyed that they like didn't show or explain things. And people are like, it was a great movie. And I'm like, did you even read the book?
Yeah.
And so I get that. I get people's frustrations.
But was there a scene in the book that you were looking forward to seeing on screen?
So I don't remember much of the book, but I remember them being in Palm Springs and like the air conditioner, like how they had to like lower it by 1 degree. And like, it was just like this whole mess. And we had a temporary apartment that had like similar quirks. And so like it always kind of connected. So I was excited to see like what they were going to do with that, even though it's very minor, I think. But
I wanted to just a tinge more, but when he took care of her when she was sick, that is one of my favorite scenes in the book. That's one of my favorite micro tropes in romance is when he takes care of her when she's sick. I like let him wash her hair, let him like carry her to bed. I love that micro trope. And so I was really glad that we did get to see like a piece of that in the movie itself. But real quick, can we talk about the casting choice? Because in my opinion, I don't think they could have cast anyone better, personally.
No.
Like,
so good.
Emily Bader was the perfect Poppy. The perfect Poppy. She brought her quirks to life in a way that was not like manic pixie dream girl. It was very like, she was so endearing, so
Yep.
charming. And I just loved her. And it was really cool seeing Tom play like a more casual, like lighthearted role. And I do think his American accent kind of slayed.
Yeah, I think he was great. Yeah, I think because like Poppy in the book, she has like all these like elaborate clothes and everything, and I think her costuming was just perfect because it was like
So good.
people are like, oh well, Poppy. Like I remember like the first couple stills or whatever that we got of like them
Yeah.
filming, and people were like, oh my gosh, no, Poppy needs to be more outgoing and eccentric and like everything. But I think her costuming was like just on point. Like it was perfect. It was like that New York City style that
Yes.
not everybody can pull off, but it is a little bit out there.
Yeah.
And her poppy dress for the wedding. And Alex's line, like, oh, can you clip this? No.
No. No. And I said, oh, damn. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No, he cannot. Yeah, I really loved, there were so many moments of their tension that I thought was just like absolutely delicious. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was so good. And I think it was done in like a, I think the way that Tom played Alex was the perfect amount of like tentative yearning
Mm-hmm.
where he was towing the line and you could tell he wanted to, but he wouldn't push it over the edge. And I think that some people are going to think that restraint was like him not being interested, but I think that he embodied the role so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved it. And then they made some changes. So they had like um everything with Barcelona, they had the pregnancy change, they had a lot. And I saw an interview where they talked about how like the kiss and the pregnancy happened independent of each other, but in the movie they made it one scene because something wasn't connecting with Croatia and all of this stuff. But um there was a very hard line that EmHen drew, which was like they could not kiss while he was in a relationship. Um,
Yeah.
because the romance readers, if they're not prepared for infidelity, that is not a line that they're going to cross. And I do think that it like for the movie tension, I think it was the right call. But in the book, like this is where I think nuance is lost and it's really, really hard to do in a just shy of 2 hour movie to get all of the
Mm-hmm.
backstory, all of the details, like while you're filming in multiple locations. But I think the one thing that I was just missing as a fan of the book to the adaptation was like Alex's stakes in the situation. And like in the book, Alex gets a literal vasectomy after her pregnancy scare and doesn't tell Sarah about it until after it happens.
Yeah, I didn't like that in the book,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm glad that that wasn't in the movie.
Yeah. But I think that like, if there was something like that, I think it would have shown a little bit more of where Alex's headspace was.
Yeah, it then you would have to do like his whole more of his backstory, right? That his mom died giving birth to, his
Yeah.
brother and all
It,
of that. And I
but
think,
for me, like, I would have loved that as like a fan of the book.
yeah,
Again,
that's fair.
but I think as again, if I remove any knowledge that I had from the book out and I just watched it
Mm-hmm.
as a lighthearted rom com, I think it was pretty close to perfect as just a fun, beachy rom com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Why did we get this in the summer and not, or why
I
did we get this in the winter?
Yeah, I do fear that that was an incorrect call on the studio's part, but I really wanted to watch it when the sun was out and not when
I
it
know,
was snowing.
I know, because it just gave me so much energy. And then I look outside and I'm like, oh,
And it's so gloomy. Now, we did have you got your like little nod to the air conditioning at the Airbnb
I
in
know when you said that, I was
Barcelona.
like, okay, we got
Yep.
something.
Yep. But yeah, I do think like the essence of who they were was
Sorry,
there.
I just kicked the desk.
No, it's fine.
I have a new desk, so it's getting used to.
We're getting adjusted
It's
to
like
the
it's like making noises. I'm like
to the
kicking
foot
it. I'm like,
to the foot radius that we have there.
yeah.
Yeah. I loved their first like road trip situation. I really enjoy that they put a lot of stock into that and like their 1st meeting. And also Poppy's parents were cast perfectly as well.
Yeah, I thought they were great, and I feel like the road trip too gave us a good glimpse of like their personalities right away.
Yes.
Like, we talk about like showing, not telling
Yep.
sometimes. And I feel like that was a good way to kind of introduce us to like who they are
100%.
without seeing like, the text on the screen. Like, especially when the burrito goes everywhere, just like
Yeah.
that emotion in Alex and just like, okay.
Mhm.
And so I think that whole road trip really showed us who they were in a different way that I think was really impactful.
Yes. And now, do you have any more thoughts about People We Meet on Vacation? Because I feel like we kind of hit like the main points of it. I just think it was a fun rom-com. And again, if you are a purist and you were expecting something that was like identical to the book, I think you probably were disappointed in this.
Mhm.
I fall somewhere in between. If I'm thinking about it as a fan of the book standpoint, I definitely feel like we missed some key details. But if I'm thinking about it as like, if I were just like one of my friends scrolling on Netflix who knows nothing about this and watched the movie, I think it is perfect for what they produced.
Yeah. I saw somebody say like, "Oh, I read the book so long ago that I like went in and had fun."
Yeah.
And that's how like I was. And
Yeah.
once I was watching the movie, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember like certain parts, certain things here." But no, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the other adaptions of her books. I know some people are like worried. And I'm like, I don't, if we look at the books as like whatever the essence that we want to capture, and I think Emily Henry will let them do justice.
Okay, so I just pulled up the article so we could talk about these adaptations that are confirmed because we know all of her books have been optioned outside of Great Big Beautiful Life so far, to my knowledge. I think I do fear that Beach Read is going to be the one that needs to stay the most like faithful.
That's the
the
one I'm
book.
nervous for because even like, I mean, I love Happy Place and I know they just switched it from a series to a movie, but I think I will still enjoy it for what it is. Because I like the concept and everything. But yeah, Beach Read, they better do a hell of a job with that.
I will say what I am very, very excited for. I think Funny Story is going to be her most easily adaptable book because we talked about it from day one with Funny Story, how we could see it on TV. I think what the kicker here is going to be for Happy Place and Funny Stories adaptation is that they actually kept Emily Henry on as the screenplay writer. So she wrote the screenplays for these adaptations. And I think that that is going to leave some of those nuances that we perhaps lost a little bit of in People We Meet on Vacation. But specifically for Funny Story, I think that is the adaptation I am the most excited for. I'm very interested to see who they cast as Miles.
I know.
I know that there's so much talk, and like I know everyone wants Dylan O'Brien. Like everyone wants him. I would be so happy with him as Miles. But I think there's also some other options, and then we have book lovers on top of that.
Yeah. People are throwing out Joe Keery, which also I would love to.
Okay. I know I'm excited.
And like Aftermath of Stranger Things, like bring him out.
And then we have I'm excited to see who they pick, Harriet and when, and like what I don't know. I am so excited for her because I feel like she is just such a master at her craft, and I feel like if anyone deserves to have all of her books optioned into movies right now, God bless, it's Emily Henry. And honestly, let's get some Kennedy Ryan adaptations in there. Like I feel like these are the types of books. It's like the romance books that have like a tinge of women's fiction crossover. I feel like work so well for the screen because you don't have as many of the like quirky rom-com things that translate really, really well in books, but don't necessarily translate to screen because I feel like their books are a little bit more grounded and like realistic. So I don't know. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I'm so excited for these next adaptations that are about to roll out. And I can't believe that it was here and we watched one of the books on screen. Like, that's so cool.
I know.
Do we want to talk about like a quick theme lyric?
Yeah, let's do that. So with a supercut, I mean, the whole vibe, I've been wanting to use this song for so long.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite songs. It just like gives me so much energy. I love the whole Melodrama album.
Yeah.
But that's neither here or there. But the song, like,
Guys,
the
just know we're
lyric-
going to Lord and Taylor over these next few episodes.
Yeah, Lord and Taylor is like all I'm listening to lately. Trying to expand, guys, but you can't beat perfect. Anyway, the song starts out, right? It's like, in my head, I play a supercut of us, all the magic we gave off, and all the love that we had and lost.
Mhm.
And in my head, the visions never stop. These ribbons wrap me up, but when I reach for you, there's just a supercut. And I feel like that's right, like, in the movie, like right before they go to Barcelona, right? Like,
Yeah.
Poppy and Alex, like, they think back of all their summers, and it's just like the supercut of all their summers, their fun, their how they met, all of this stuff. And but then when they like want to reach out at that time, it's like, okay, it's just like a supercut of us. It's not the actual bit of them.
Yeah.
And the end is like, because ours are the moments I play in the dark. We were wild and fluorescent. Come home to my heart. And then they do. Then they fall in love and live happily ever after.
Yeah. I love that. I have Ready to Run, and this whole song really is like, I don't know, just like chasing a relationship and like, is it time? But there's one, a couple of lines in particular. There's a devil in your smile that's chasing me, and every time I turn around, it's only gaining speed. And I feel like that's just so Alex with Poppy. Like over time, he's just like developing these feelings and he's trying to put it down, but like there's this little hint of something that he can't put away with her. And then another one is, there's a future in my life I can't foresee unless, of course, I stay on course and keep you next to me, which I feel like is very Poppy-like too, because Poppy doesn't have a plan. Alex always has a plan. And I just thought this was a really fun nod to the running at the end that she did, because it just says, this time I'm ready to run, escape from the city and follow the sun, because I want to be yours. Don't you want to be mine? I don't want to get lost in the dark of the night. Wherever you are is the place I belong. And I think it's Poppy stopped running away from life and ran to Alex. And I think that this is like that. I'm following the sun and Alex is her son. Like she left her job. She is going to Ohio of all places, because no one wants to be in Ohio. And we all know Emily Henry's from Ohio and she romanticizes Michigan, which is where we're from. Slay, we'd love to see it. But yeah, when I was going through the songs, this one just felt so on brand for Alex and Poppy. And again, I just thought it was actually criminal that I had not selected a One Direction song. So here we are.
Meant to be. It was
meant to be.
Well, thank you all for going on vacation with us and turning the page. It was with Momo.
Oh my God. Hannah, this desk.
Sorry, I know this done. We'll see how long this lasts.
Where is this Southern accent coming from? What's happening to me?
Is this podcast Brit? Like Vacation Alex, Vacation Poppy. Anyway, Thank you so much for turning the pages with us and going on vacation with us this week. Be sure to drop a follow on Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, and join our newsletter to keep up with everything on the other side of the page.
Yes, and please, please, please drop a review and a 5-star rating of the podcast on your preferred platform and share it with your bookish besties.
Next week, we get to go to Olympus and talk about the games Gods Play by Abigail Owen.
Yes, we can't wait, because we haven't really talked about any Greek mythology on the pod yet. So this will be exciting. And honestly, are we really excited to talk about the mythology, or are we really excited to talk about Hades? Anyway, it's fine. Either way, catch us on January 21st with the games Gods Play. And forever and always,
keep reading with kindness.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.